I'm Tamara, and this is Anything is Possible. I live on Lake Chapala in Jalisco, Mexico. I've lived here since June last year. I drove down with my 2 cats and a dog from Oregon, and have been living here happily ever since. And believe me, I'm loving it this year because the snow has been really, really incredible this year in Oregon and California. So I am very happy that I'm here. I wanted to cover today a little bit about food and other choices that you have in terms of shopping in Mexico. I've subscribed to various different groups in this area, and the question comes up a lot in terms of shopping, where to get certain items that people are used to using from Canada and the United States. I wanted to talk a little bit about our food choices here. My thinking on that is, yes, we grow up with certain tastes in food and with certain cravings, I guess you'd say. And it's sometimes really hard when you move to a different country and a different culture to find things when you get this urge to eat something that you just want it, and it's just not to be had. So first I wanted to say that there are quite a number of stores here locally. There's one store called Pancho's. There's the one that's here in Riberas, and there's one on the west end of Ajijic. They carry just an abundance of brand names, pretty much, I think, a lot of things that you really are used to getting in the United States and Canada. And if you don't find it there, you can certainly ask. Pancho had been very open to ordering whatever anybody really wants to have, and he'll try carrying it and bring it down. I actually really like Super Lake. Super Lake is also another one that has a lot of gringo foods. It also has Mexican brands. And then there's a store called Gourmet Garage. It's more of a warehouse type place, but they have an awful lot of Kirkland brands, as well as they really don't have hardly any Mexican brands at all. Now, all 3 of these stores, you do pay a premium because they have to bring these foods down from the United States. There's a lot involved in just getting the foods, trucking them all the way down here, the expense of paying someone to do that, and the gasoline and the time involved. I mean, it's a major effort for them to bring these things down that people feel that they cannot live without. So that being said, there's an awful lot of things that when I first got here, I would just walk into one of these stores and just load up with whatever I wanted to. And then I realized I was paying an awful lot on groceries, and it was supposed to be cheaper to live here. So I started looking at what I was actually paying for some of these, brands that I was used to using, and realized, what, I don't really have to have these American brands. I can look in the Mexican grocery stores and find equivalent products that will work just as well, foods that will taste just as good, and I'll pay a fraction of the price. So that's what I started doing. There's a little store just a couple of blocks from me. I just walk over there and with my backpack and just walk up and down the aisles, and let me tell you, they have some wonderful, wonderful products. I did pick up some lotion that I'm not going to buy again because I read the label afterwards and realized it's got parabens in it. I have been extremely happy with an awful lot of the brands, and I thought I'd do a little recap on some of the brands that I find here in Mexico are just as good or better than what I'm used to in the United States. Believe me, Mexican food is one of the great cuisines in the world. There's a reason why Mexican food is sold basically worldwide, is it is a cuisine that people really, really love. But there's still, there's times when you just really want something that you can't get. And so I do have a video that I show how to make your own sourdough because having lived in the San Francisco Bay Area for a long time, there's nothing like having fresh sourdough out of the oven. So that's why I taught myself how to make sourdough bread. It's not hard. There's only 3 ingredients. And so the things that you can't get here, maybe you can make it yourself. People want things like chicken pot pies. And let me tell you, all those ingredients are here. You just have to get up off the couch and make your own chicken pot pies. And they'll probably be a whole lot better than the frozen ones you used to buy anyway. So I'm going to go through some of the things that I found here. Honey bun. Felix is just being a little fussy today. You want to say hi to the people? Yeah, he's Felix. Mwah. Yes. It's a little overcast today. Felix wants some sun to lie in, and it's not happening. I think we might be getting an early summer. The clouds are gathering, and we had a little bit of rain day before yesterday, and yesterday it definitely felt like it was going to rain, and then the clouds disappeared, so it didn't. Anyway, I wanted to take a minute because I always forget. I just figure the people that watch YouTube know that, it really helps the channel if you do a thumbs up and a like and you comment and you subscribe. I'm not doing this to make money. I'm just doing it because I enjoy doing it, and I think, I shed a little light on things that I frankly don't see other people covering on other channels, so that's why I do it. But just in case you feel inclined to do so, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and share it with your friends and all that stuff that everybody always tells you. Navarro cheeses are made here in Jalisco, I believe, and they have some absolutely worldwide award-winning cheeses. One of my favorites is the Chihuahua. Oaxaca cheese is basically the same as string cheese. They have great cheddars, adobera. They have just a plethora of different cheeses that are, and I have not tried one that is not really outstanding. So if you can find it, I highly recommend. La Odeña is another really local brand here, and their crema is, out of this world. I know you've probably eaten Mexican food before, and what you think is sour cream is actually much more like creme fraiche. It's not as sour and tangy as sour cream, but it is rich and creamy and really takes the bite off of anything that is a really hot food and just adds a whole new dimension to just about anything that you add it to. I like Sello Rojo's Tetra Pak evaporated milk and media crema, which I'm going to show a little video clip here. The leche evaporado is very much just like any other evaporated milk, but in the Tetra Paks you get a lot more, and I like it in my coffee. But boy, one time I found this media crema, and it is a whole new thing. It's just very thick, and it's like the thickest cream you can imagine. And in my coffee in the morning, it is so yummy. I had to cut back on it because I was getting a little overboard with it. And it is definitely not a low-calorie food. I found this Greek yogurt at a little store called Lakeside Market in San Antonio, Tlacopan, and it is really outstanding. There is the light, which I usually get, and then the regular cream version. They're both just delicious, and you wouldn't think Schmitty's is a Mexican guy, but it is sold locally and made very locally. So you might want to check around and see what you can find locally. I picked up a bottle of this Chumari hot sauce at a little local neighborhood Mexican market, and it is the best hot sauce I've ever eaten in my life. It comes in various hotnesses, so you have to turn the bottle over and look at the scale. But I have to say it's really outstanding, and it is made locally in Guadalajara, so Zapopan actually, so it is really good. At our local fresh market, I buy these Juancho Rancho eggs. They are totally free range, grass fed chickens raised locally. You probably won't be able to find anything like this where you are, but having raised chickens myself, I have to say these are really top notch eggs. The yolks are extremely orange. They're always very fresh. The yolks sit up really tall and the yolks don't break easily, and they are very fresh, very good. And you can tell that the chickens were not raised with grain because you do not get orange yolks like that unless the chickens are raised on grass. A few other products, this brown rice made in Mexico, various kinds of herbs, and these banana hot cakes are really excellent. I can't have gluten flour or wheat flour, so the banana hot cakes are really outstanding. This Cantech dog food made in Guanajuato has the Wookiee seal of approval. He's always been a real picky eater, and he will eat this just dry, right out of the bag with no water or anything on it. It is a real premium dog food too. It's not inexpensive, but it's well worth it, and he loves it. I encourage you to try a local tortilleria if you can find one near you. I went into this one, which is in downtown Chapala near the CFE electric company where I pay my bill. And I walked in and I got a 1 kilo of tortillas, which is enough to last me several weeks, but I just divide them up and put them in the freezer. But I brought it right home and put some butter on these hot tortillas right off the machine, and boy, they are flaky and delicious and really good corn flavor. And then you could put it on your stove if you have one of these griddles in the middle, and some of that great Navarro cheese. Oh my God, they are just so good. I want to point out too that corn here is all non-GMO. So you don't have to worry about genetically modified corn in Mexico. They are all self-sufficient in terms of growing. Mexico grows all of its own corn. So that kind of wraps it up in terms of a few of the products that I really like here. I know that wherever you live, it's probably going to be different in Mexico. This is just what I found here. If you go to the little local stores that you find, there's just an abundance of really nice products made here in Mexico. I like supporting this country and the products that they produce. I do also shop at the grocery stores that import because I like supporting them also. Ponchos is a kind of a newcomer here. It wasn't here when came down 13 years ago, but Pancho is a local, and he has done a great job and hires a lot of local people, and is great for the job market here. Super Lake has been here for a long, long time. I mean, it was here when I came down, and El Torito was here, and they do a really good job too. And I'm not going to diss any of them. They do a good job of trying to please people and bring in products that people want. And So I shop there too. I mean, there are a lot of products that you just can't find a substitute for. So, you know, that's I like Bob's Red Mill products, and most of the stores around here carry those, but you won't find it in the local Mexican stores. A different culture, might as well try and see what they've got to offer, and support these local little stores that, people are making a living, and they hire people, and it keeps the Mexican economy going strong. And quite honestly, these products, they cost so much less than the United States brands. So I think you should probably, walk into one of these and wander around, and don't be scared. I think that's the first time I went out, I was a little intimidated because I don't know Spanish that well. But, you don't really have to talk to anybody. You can just, look at the products, and they're fairly, cleaning products, or cheeses, or, tomato sauces, or tuna fish, or whatever. It's all pretty self-explanatory. So just be brave. Give it a try, and maybe you'll find some new things that you love. So I hope you have a good week, and I will connect with you next time. It's getting a little windy here. I'll sign off. Thanks for watching. Bye.